So it is day 38 of my water fast, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not it is the enemy that is coming down on me because I had such a productive day yesterday, or is God just teaching me something? I prefer to think that God is teaching me something. I'm on my way to Apple to find out why my video, all of a sudden, an 8-minute video yesterday took 3 hours to export from CapCut and is like 10 times the size that it has been in the past. And it's happening again this morning. I was up at 4:30. I was ready to go to start working at 7, and I can't get a video out of CapCut. So I'm on my way to Apple. It is day 38, and today sucked. It really sucked. Yesterday was such a high-flying day. I had such a good day. I worked from 7 in the morning to 11 p.m. I got so much work done. God really gave me a day to just knock it out of the park. And then it was weird because the last video that I tried to export from CapCut was an 8-minute video, and it took me like 3 hours, which is what kept me at the library. I sat outside the library. It was a gorgeous night, and I was super productive. So I just like knocked it out of the park and was super productive until 11 o'clock. Really psyched about that. Got home, prayed that I would have another day just like that today. And got up at 4:30. I didn't go to bed till midnight. God woke me up at 4:30. I was out of bed. I did my yoga. I prayed, had my supplements, was ready to go out the door. I started my day off at Starbucks, and I ran into the same issue. I immediately had this plan, and I was exporting a video that was 19 minutes from CapCut, and I ran into the same issue that I ran into last night. It's like all of a sudden, I cannot export from CapCut. There is a bottleneck. Something is going on. I cannot export a video from CapCut. In fact, I am still exporting the same video that I exported this morning right now, and it is at 30% exported. I cannot export from CapCut. So I identified that there was an issue, and a friend called me, and I was talking with her, and she's really just a steward of God, really. She brought me back to God. She brought me to the Bible. She's a good friend. So I opened up to her about this. I was like, the thing is that God told me to go to Apple 3 days ago. And she's like, well, if God told you to go to Apple, you need to go to Apple. And I'm like, but I don't want to go to Apple. Every time I go to Apple, I'm there for hours. Like, I don't want to go to Apple. She says, well, if God told you to go to Apple, then maybe this could have like completely been circumvented, and maybe you wouldn't be having this issue. If you get to Apple, maybe they can take care of this. So I was like, well, then maybe I need to go to Apple. So I packed up my computer and took off, and I was at Apple 10 minutes before it opened, and I got there first thing, so I didn't have to wait in line. And I've got this dude that's, troubleshooting what's going on with CapCut. And he's running through all the things, and he's like, you know what? All I can say is I think you need a new computer. So once again, I am being told that I need a new computer, and that with the processor that I have and all the things, because it's 10 years old, it's very possible that this is an issue that could be completely solved by purchasing a new computer. Well, my mind is like immediately like, no way, it is not in the budget, or it's like, it's not no way, because it's like, I need a new computer, right? I've known this for a while. I'm following God's budget. I immediately assume that this is not in God's budget. That's mistake number one. And then I'm like, my mind is going. So I'm like, okay, it's $1,800. All right. So I've known this for a while. What are my options? I start looking into credit cards. I don't buy anything on credit. I've got great credit. Like, I don't have debt. I don't go into debt for things. So my mind is immediately like, okay, so what are my options? Credit card. And then I work the next, 10 days straight and I pay it off. Yeah, it's like basically like I work the next 10 days straight and I pay this off, or I work the next 10 days and I get the money and then I buy the computer. So it's immediately like work myself to exhaustion and get this computer. I'm working every day, 12, 18-hour days anyway. It's okay that I'm no stranger to hard work. So it's like, I gotta do this. I'll do what I gotta do. So I'm like, okay, credit card. And then I paid off right away. What kind of credit card? So then I'm like talking to them about Apple, about their credit card. And then I run to my bank and I'm like, well, I need to open a business account. So what do I need to do for that? And so I strategize about opening a business credit card. So I'm looking at those options. And then I'm like, well, or I just work the next 10 days straight, wait until I get paid again, buy a new computer, and then pick up where I left off on the project. This puts me a minimum of 2 weeks behind schedule. So I'm like running my wheels. And I'm like assuming that this is just like the only way. And the thing is that like, if it is a good trade in like a trade-off, and it will increase productivity, then I'm all in and I'm there. So, but I have no idea if this is going to fix the problem. And I'm already thinking about different content editors that I'm going to be using. It's like a whole thing. And I'm like, what's the lesson that God is trying to teach me here? Like, what is God trying to teach me? And I'm assuming that it's like, how do you handle the ebbs? God wants to know your heart. Like, where is your heart? And what are you willing to do? So it's literally like, and I wrote this, it's like, I feel like God wants to know, to what lengths will I go to complete this project? What am I willing to do to ensure this project is done? How badly do I want this? And I'm assuming that this means that like, I am going to push this out and I'm going to work the next 10 days, and then I'm going to struggle bust my way through getting this project done, and it's going to put me behind schedule, which puts me behind on the other projects that I'm the other series that I'm filming for. And it's like, and then I'm feeling like I'm at a loss. So I go to the library and I'm trying to be as productive as possible. I go ahead and I start to sort my content for what I've not imported into, my files, and I'm getting organized. But I still have no content editor to actually do anything with. So it's like I'm just staying busy because I don't know what else to do at this point. I leave the library at 8 and I come home and I immediately got dropped to my knees and I get real quiet. And my study guide for Proverbs is right in front of me. And I look down and it's Proverbs 11 and it's my study guide. So in my words, it says, be a steward of your resources. And that's time, focus, money, and energy. That's 4 things. Time, focus, money, energy. So I'm praying. I sit down and I'm considering. And then God's story. It occurs to me, I already had the budget for a new computer. As of this last paycheck, because I followed God's budget, I didn't take out for taxes, because I followed his budget to a T, I have $1,980 in my God account. That second savings account that God told me to open, I have $1,980 in it. I have the budget for a computer, and I can pay for it in cash. I've said from the beginning that God decides what I do with it. And if he decides that I need a new computer before the end of this project, then I will buy a new computer before the end of this project. I said that in an earlier video, like day 14 or something. And the thing is that I was too noisy. I was too in my own head to realize I didn't stop. I didn't get quiet. I wasted the whole day spinning my wheels and coming up with these ridiculous scenarios. And God told me to go to Apple because God had already given me the budget to buy a computer because he knew that my computer was going to do this. And, well, now I have the budget for a computer. So I believe that tomorrow I'm going to go buy a new computer with God's money. So that's my God story. I believe he's told me what to do with it, and he made sure that I had exactly the right amount to buy it. Now, for your tip for today, it's pretty straightforward. Rectal implants while you're fasting, and there's no bulk in your alimentary canal or in your large intestine, it is the very best time to do a rectal implant. We've been taking oral implants this entire 40 days. So we've been implanting orally, and that bacteria has made its way down your alimentary canal, and it's populating and nourishing your gut flora, right? It's feeding that good gut bacteria, your gut flora. Now we're going to implant rectally. The last few nights before the end of our fast, we'll implant rectally. We do this with a bifidobacteria and some lactobacillus, but primarily bifidobacteria. That's the primary bacteria that is found in the human gut microbiome and will feed that healthy good gut bacteria that's compatible with us. So I use FloraGrow. This is the Rise and Shine product. I'll include the link down below. We do this by taking 16 ounces of spring water, spring mineral water, so it's alive. There are minerals in here that the bacteria can feed off of. We put 4 capsules of FloraGrow in here, and then we shake, 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 allow it to sit and proliferate for about 8 hours minimum. I like to do it about 24 hours. And then we will take it either through the end of a bucket or the bulb, and we will just shoot that up the rectum, and then we will work it up into our alimentary canal, as far up and over the transverse as we can, and we will elevate our hips and allow that to sit overnight. We're also going to supplement with an oral implant, just like we've always done, at night on empty stomach, obviously. But it just is kind of like a 1-2 punch, and we're going to do this for the next 3 nights, just to ensure a good solid implantation within our large intestine. Yeah, that's just a very straightforward tip. Rectal implants. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and I'm going to go take a bath and just relax and allow God to touch me, because man, I need to clear my head. Today I should have just been still. And I think it's a good lesson in just be still. So thank you again. Namaste.